You wanted the best. You've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
I'm Wiz Voss here from the ChrisVossShow.com. Ladies and gentlemen, there are latest things that makes official. Welcome to the big show for over 60 years, 2300 episodes. Bring in the Chris Voss Show because we had nothing better to do. Or this is the best we can do. And it is the best because we have the best authors, the best guests, the most brilliant minds, the people who share with you their stories of their cathartic moments in life, how they survived them, how they got through them, and share with you the blueprints that you can to improve the quality of your life, or, you know, maybe help some other people out for a change. That might be nice, huh? Help some other people out and quit screwing around. Anyway, go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, Chris Voss1 on the TikTok, and all those crazy places on the internet. Opinions expressed by guests on the podcast are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the host or the Chris Voss Show. Some guests of the show may be advertising on the podcast, but it is not an endorsement or review of any kind. Today we have a returning guest. He just appeared last week. We covered his book called Wiz Diary, Secret Keys to Self-Mastery, out July 13th, 2022. He's a multi-book author. We'll talk about some of his other books, and we're talking about his dating site that he has to help you date better and make better choices in mates, because I've seen some of the mates you folks choose, and you need all the help you can get. Desirel Calvin Lawrence joins us on the show. Welcome, sir, to the show, sir. How are you? Can you hear me, Desirel?
Chris? Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yep.
Awesome. Yes, I thank you so much for having me, Chris. This has just been a journey. It's like a dream come true to things with the world, and thank you so much for having me, Chris.
Thank you for coming. We really appreciate it. So give us your .coms. Where do you want people to find you on those interwebs in the sky?
All right, .coms. I will start with the Wiz Diary, which, if you actually manage to look at it, is compendium of one of the most profound quotes you will ever read. That is at heartlib.us/Wiz. Now, on the other particular sites that you would love to actually get more information about the is heartlib.us. Simply go to heartlib.us and you have everything that you need to know. If you want to reach out, just go to heartlib.us/form, but just go to heartlib.us. Everything is there that you need.
Give us a 30,000 overview. What you guys do there?
So 30,000 feet. The overview. I mentioned you the other time, and you were actually in the last interview. Yes, 10,000 feet overview. It's crazy because this is what makes Heartlib, what we do in matchmaking agency, one of a phenomenal. So we built Heartlib around the idea that finding the right match about luck or probably endless trial and error. It's about understanding deep compatibility. What makes your approach, what makes our approach so different is that most people love as a numbers game. They say, let's keep dating, let's keep trying. You will stumble upon the one. But what if I told you that it's like throwing darts in the dark, hoping to hit a bullseye? Hopefully she walks. Oh, she looks hot. Yeah, she got everything going. Oh, he got the abs, whatever you look at, that is not that. The superficial things is not what we do. We remove the guesswork. By combining what I call deep psychological compatibility and case studies, and pretty much the cancer cell system we developed doesn't just look at surface level traits like hobbies or interests. It goes deeper into actual sustained relationships. What sustains the relationship? Core values, emotional intelligence, long-term vision, the unspoken nuances that make two people fit effortlessly together. And at Heartlib, we don't just find your match. We find you the right match based on these case studies that we have. But you at a fundamental level is what we find you. The one who will bring out the best of you. Most importantly, the one who will bring you happy. I think that is most important in today's world, where you get into a relationship and it's gone in the next 2 years. You've probably spent $200,000 on the wedding, blown, toward everybody, and then within 2 years is all up. You're splitting properties, you're splitting everything, you're spending money on. That's not what I want to create with your relationships. What I want to create is something where before you get into it, you know what you're getting into. You can see coming in with your eyes open, no blinders, none of that. And you know exactly what you're getting into before you get into it. And so that is what we do at Heartlib. Give you the blueprint. Understand that the guesswork is out of it. It's complete. You actually know what you're getting in the relationship before you get into it. And then if you decide to take it the distance and say, this is what I really want. I love this report. This is the best I've heard. This is the best of my reports. I want to pursue this. We show you how to find that in the real world, especially on Meta, and it's a whole different playing field for love and relationships in the world, and the first thing in the world that is being done like this. Yes.
That is. Tell us something about the products that you offer there.
MyRealLoveAcademy.com is the educational hub where we give you like some insights into how we actually come up with our number philosophy. Academy.com, you have access to me and our coaches, and we just guide you on decision making and give you like an insight into how your relationship will pan out over time, whatever that relationship is, prints on how to actually spot a match through just a quick match. We give you a quick match, not based on the case studies. What we do is the KMCSR method or system, and it takes case studies and number compatibilities, and we use that as a way to come up with a rounded overview on what to expect in a relationship. However, when you go to the academy, we just break it down just with the numbers, so you understand why is it that I am so attracted to somebody, but it's not like a love relationship. It's just that I can't get away from this person, or why am I so attracted to this person? And it's just I just can't get away from them, but it's not doing anything meaningful. That the reason why that is the case is there's a number compatibility. There's a number science, and you will find out that with every relationship you have, the ones that are the closest, the ones that you have, wow, I love that guy a lot. We chill out a lot. We get together. Oh, that's my gal. That's my pal. Whoever that is, you find out that they all follow a very interesting pattern with those numbers. Those numbers are actually very congruent in all these partnerships. So if you look at somebody and you go through our calculator and our system, you'll find out that, wow, this person actually has this number alignments in their profile. This is why I'm actually connected to this person. So we already know why your alignments with somebody else is actually compatible, because those numbers itself show you that you will be compatible. But then we take it further and give you the case studies behind it. So this is where we actually find the case studies and find the ones that are most compatible with you. Then we give you the numbers and the case studies to match you, and then we take you to go over to Meta and find it's a blockbuster. It's at best, you don't say a blockbuster, you say it's a Netflix.
The Netflix.
But yeah, that's pretty much in a nutshell what it just takes the guesswork out of things. It makes it very, the biggest misconception I have is that attraction equals compatibility, but it doesn't. You might be attracted to somebody that's not compatibilities, because that's what leads to the kind of toxic relationships that fails, because the attraction is what I say is, you might even be so attracted You know you are, but that's the number talking, the number between you guys that are talking. And by the time you realize it, it's not what it is. So you can't be widely attracted wrong for you. That's where most people get stuck. They chase familiar dysfunction because it feels comfortable, even when it's unhealthy. And what we do at Heartlib is we just break this cycle of showing people that true compatibility is not about just feeling good in the moments. It's about who you're with in the long run. So through our case study approach, what we do is we help people recognize patterns that sabotage their relationships and guide them towards matches that create stability, growth, and probably fulfillment. And it's a big thing. And we take it even further into business, friendship. If you want a business partnership that you want to say, all right, this is the business partnership where it's like a Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs, or Wozniak and Steve Jobs. That kind of partnership that is like a mind-blowing partnership. What makes them tick? What makes that part is there's a synergy. People have a synergy. When they come together with some people, it sparks something even fun beyond your wildest dreams. This is why some people might say, I got married to my husband and it became unbelievable, just changed overnight. And when some people might say, I got married to my husband and my life just got demolished, or I got married to my wife and my life just went messed up, or whatever it's your story, you realize that those compatibility profiles, when they come together, the bond is very critical on success and meaningful relationships for the long haul. So it's not just about romantic relationships.
That can make all the difference
to business partnerships. Yes, it is. Yeah.
What do you feel makes yours app different than the other dating apps that are out there in the market?
It's, I guess every time something comes up that is all right. And I've been mulling over this for a long time. I've had relationships in the past. I've tried to understand it in our relationships. I've had situations where I had so many options. And then I was like, who do I choose? Who do I go for? What might be my best match in this situation? And I couldn't find a life. I mean, when I started doing the research, I started realizing there were different compatibility profiles that I could get involved in. And so I've been in this quest for a long time, going through research and finding research that I could use to actually determine who my best match would be. And then into the number magnet philosophy, where I actually found something very unique with the alignment in number. And what I did was I came up with a complete system that was undone before, never done before, that combined this knowledge in such a stage of something unique about the data points of any individual and know or if I was going to be compatible with that person long term. And then, so that is pretty much when I look at my app will show you instantly who's compatible with you in numbers.
Wow. So it comes down to numbers.
It comes down to numbers. It comes down to numbers in alignment, but in a very compounded way, that you come by alignment with everyone. But apart from the number alignment, that is a secondary aspect. But that is going to be a critical aspect because that is what creates the chemistry that you find. And you might not even be going anywhere with that person. You might not even do anything monumental, but you have a serious chemistry. Number philosophy, alignment, we take the compendium and we combine it with our sought after case studies.
There you go.
Those case studies will make sure that, yes, the information we give you is going to give you a blueprint of what to expect in that relationship. But with the number line, be the best thing ever for you that you've ever experienced, because we know that is what will create true compatibility. It's crazy, but that's what makes us different. It's not a dating app where you just swipe and say, oh, she looks good, I like what she said, or there's no. might not even say a word, and you might swipe past that person, and that might be the best person for you for the next 50 years of your life.
Wow.
We make sure you know that person before you before you even pull the trigger on any unfounded relationship. Just the fact that you just knowing that if I pull the trigger on this person, this is the storyline behind it, and I'm going to be able to be very successful for the long term in this relationship. And it's crazy. Yeah.
With your app, it's available on iTunes and the Google Play Store, correct?
Actually, it's just it's called Heartlib, and you just go there and you look. It's a calculator. At the end of the day, it's like a calculator, a match calculator, and it calculates you. And then the more people get on there, you'll be able to find people instantly that actually are compatible. Okay. With you. You see somebody. Yeah.
Is that where do they log in at? I'm looking at the website.
It's called Heartlib.io.
Okay. And so there's matching you, or Heartlib.io. I guess I'm in the US one. So
yes, there's Heartlib.us, which is the.
Oh, okay. Here's where you sign up. I see it now.
Yeah.
All right, there. So you can sign up here and you can check out profiles on your thing and see what's there. What have you guys seen so far with the people that are signing up?
So actually, that's Heartlib.io is something we just put out there. Hopefully we get traction because we just started Heartlib.io. We just put it out there. So we're trying to build traction with it. We believe, but what we have right now is dummy profiles, not dummy profiles, but AI profiles that you can see with just beautiful looking profiles created by that allows you to see different people, but you'll be able to understand what we mean by number alignment. And so when you sign up, what you see is you find out, okay, these are my number alignments. These are the people I'm compatible with in the number alignment system. But in addition to that, you need to be able to use the case studies to actually know what you just don't want to go to a blind attraction and then create a storyline that is not good for you. But all right, this are my number alignments. This is why I'm compatible with my friend. This is his number alignments. I can actually take this number alignment and get my case studies and get somebody that is the case studies following this number alignments. And that's what we do. We find the case studies, we find your number alignments, and we put it together. So it's a calculator to find people that you will automatically be attracted to, you will be compatible with in the number alignments. And the more people get on it, the more you'll find people that be like, oh, you will know because we'll actually put it out there. Compatible match. This is compatible. You are both compatible. So you can tell, all right, we are compatible. Mm-hmm. Let me just take it to make sure that you have a case study that goes with it, that makes sure that you are getting into something that is for the long term. It's not going to bring you heartbreak or heartache. And even if it's not going to be, we know it's not going to be a heartbreak. Shows that this is a very solid relationship. And if you take it for the long haul, you give it a distance, you give it a go, you give it a try, and you take it for the long haul, it's the best thing you will ever get into. But we give you all kinds of matches that we can give you case studies on that you can choose from and say, this is the one I want. And then we show you how to get these people on Meta, on Facebook, because that's what we call our 5 minutes hack, where by the time you get your case, within 5 minutes, you can find your match on Facebook and on Meta and find that match and initiate contact and say, yes, can we just meet up for coffee or tea? And I just want to pick your brains for a little, just to see if I can just relate with you in a second. You just get to know you, or something, mm-hmm. Coffee or tea, and see how it goes. When you get that on dates going, mm-hmm. you will not want to get away from the person. It's going to be that powerful. You're like, wow, I didn't know there was somebody that could match me like this. And that's how you see it, because there's so much noise in the world, Chris. So much noise. Mm-hmm. You can go into your follow account right now. You see over 6,000 females. You can go to your just Instagram, go to somebody's regular Instagram page, and you find people that you can connect with that are 1,000, but you don't know. You don't know if one of them will be best for you. It's just a needle in a haystack scenario right now in the world.
Yeah.
But you don't know who's compatible with you, Yeah.
And it's hard to figure that out.
Try to find, yes, it's hard to figure that out. And so you want to be able to just go through it, get into any relationship, know who your best matches are, have the number alignment system so you know who has the best chemistry that goes with a case study, and you see how you can find these people on Meta and just simply connect with them. Just connect with them and see, just take it slow, so you don't have to rush anything. You don't have to be like, whoa, I found the one, and then start doing crazy things and stalking them. None of that. You just reach out and say, hey, do you want to hang up for coffee or tea? I just see that I see that you're in my network. I'm just trying to reach out to people that are in my network that catch my attention. I just thought maybe you might be up for a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, and then eventually you can tell them why you actually. Then they'll be like, wow. And yes, we are compatible. You can expose, eventually transparency actually is the best thing in life. But eventually you actually find out that the person actually connects with you and they don't care what happens, because they're like, yes, this is the match I was waiting for. It's phenomenal. Yeah.
So as we go out, give people the final pitch to onboard with you, to get involved with you, et cetera, et cetera.
So yeah, if they want to get involved, listen, don't second guess this. I tell people, you can, if you go to heartlib.us, you will see the reviews. You see people that have tried the system, and I actually very happy with the kind of understandings and results they've had. If you had a past relationship, we can literally show you what took place in that relationship without actually ever meeting anyone that you've been with. So relationship would be like long before you get into it. And that is priceless. Priceless. I mean, in this world, today's world, where it is priceless, and what we charge compared to agencies that might be charging $100,000, we charge something so simple. People spend $100,000 on weddings just to make their wedding look like the best thing ever, and it doesn't go anywhere. Why won't you invest in something, a perfect match in your relationship that if you work at it, it will be the best thing ever. If you know what it is, what you guys are getting into, it will be the best thing ever. That what we even charge is like a drop in the bucket compared to what people spend just going on dates and trying to impress by the time you finish your dates, you will have spent as much as that is what we do. We give you the confidence that before you get on your date, you're going out with the right person. And go to heartlib.us. Yeah, go to heartlib.us, find that person, get your reports, and see how you can find that person in the real world. That's how I found my wife. I went on online and I asked them key questions. I was like, you know what? Can you give me this basic cancer CSR data based on what we use? I'm a living testimony of it as well. I use the CSR data that I asked from people based on a birth profile and information like that. And I said, you know what? Let me on close before she became my wife. And I was like, can you give me this particular data from you? She's just like, all right, yeah, no problem. She was getting all kinds of information from me as well, because we met and I was like, all right, let me just get this data. I looked at the data and I looked at my cancer report. I looked at everything. Then I was like, okay, this is actually not bad. This is actually pretty good. I love this. And I've been in this search for a long time, and I was like, I'm gonna give this a go. I'm gonna do whatever I can to make sure I stick with this person, because you know what? I've been in this dating field for a while. I just want to and just focus on somebody, and that match was a perfect match. And of course, you have your little struggles in the beginning when you try and the alchemy of it in the first place. By the time you guys are merging, your set ways have to be broken down and molded so that you can actually match together and merge together in terms of making a composite whole in terms of what you guys are looking forward to in life. First, it just became the perfect synergy. And that's what I want to be able to do for people in relationships. No, before they get into that relationship, it's the best thing ever. Just go to heartlib.us, book a coach, get your reports. If you want to get it instantaneously, just pretty much buy the report, buy the system right away, get it instantaneously, and we'll give you a reports within 6 reports, everything, your website, everything, restricted access, everything that allows you to know your information. And you have all this going. You can pick the dates to show you how to find these people on Meta. If you're looking, hopefully you have 100 to more than 100 acquaintances. You'll be able to find at least a match based on what we give you, and you're set. And all you do is initiate contact and find the perfect match. So that is Heartlib US in a nutshell. But you will be blown away, even just by the information that you have, that you've been with. We could show by the time we show you exactly how your experience with that last relationship was, and we show you exactly what not took place, but the dynamic in that relationship, you'd be like, you got to be kidding me, Chris. This is mind-blowing. It is.
And as we go out, of course, your book, Wiz Diary, Secret Keys to Self-Mastery. You had a couple other books. Let's get a plug in with the titles on those books, if you would, please.
Yes. So I have a couple of other books. It's called The Power of Paradise. It was the prelude to the Wiz Diary. So that's why it's a 2-part series when you go on Amazon. But it's called Power of Paradise. But I've had the opportunity to learn, to just study a lot of places. I grew up in a science and a spiritual household, so this is why I have a combination of numbers, science. I actually understand these things in a different way. The book I have is called Hallelujah. Hallelujah is a 900-page book on the Gospels. And what I did was I looked at the Gospels and I said, it's a very interesting piece of work. And there was a time in our life where I was like desiring quiet times where I would study the scriptures and just try to understand the character behind all these books. And something struck a chord in me. I said, what if I could reflect on every verse of that gospel and see what it means, see how it changes a person. And so over 20 years later, I came up with, I had in my mind, I wrote the stanzas and everything for a long time. Mm-hmm. And 20 years later, I found out that I could use a very unique introductory moment to actually create everything that I needed with the information. So right now you have some of the mind-blowing questions, the most profound questions you will ever find on the Gospels. So that book is called Hallelujah. It's a 900-page manual, prolific questions you will ever get on the verses. Every verse of the gospel has a question. So it's a very powerful book. And so that's one. So it's called, I have the Wiz Diary, I have Hallelujah, and I have another one called Coffee Snobs, but that was just something I put together for a non-profit organization here in Sydney. Yeah.
It's been wonderful to have you on. Thank you for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. You are the best. You're the best. Could I close out with a joke? You think that might be fun?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So there was this California guy. all right. He was on the beach and I was walking the beach and it was like, he was just praying. It was in deep thoughts. Like, I wish I could get something from God. And I said, God, I just need one wish. Just grant me one wish. If you can do that for me, I'll be the happiest person. And God was like, oh yeah, definitely. I'll give you a wish. And it's, what do you want? A bridge all the way from here to Hawaii so that I can drive anytime I want to Hawaii every day. And God was like, you know what? That is a very materialistic vision you have. It's just realistic. I can't even justify doing that. Think of all the hard work that goes into creating those bridges. You have all the metal plates that I have to put all the way into the Pacific, all the metal panels and the bricks that I have to lay all the way to Hawaii. It's going to be a very strange undertaking, and it's not even something that gratifies me because it is so materialistic. And guys, so can you go back and think of something that is more befitting that you think I will be able to approve for you? And he was like, okay, no problem. So he went back, thought hard about it, and I was like, you know what, I'll think about this and see what I could come up with. And then he had a good premonition. I was like, oh, I know what I can ask him. He said, yeah, God, I found the answer for what you need. I have something that you would really like to help me out with. What's that? I'm thinking you can show me how to stand woman, all right, where I can understand what makes them cry, what makes them silent when they just give you the silent treatment, just so that I can be the best version of myself for the woman. I want to understand the woman at her core. Then I said, oh, how many lanes do you want on that bridge? For 2 lanes or for 4 lanes? So, but that is just. But I'm saying that we try to take the guesswork out of relationships, so you can actually get the right one. So I just said that. But yeah,
well,
so I hope that
even God's perplexed. So thank you very much for coming to the show. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, all right. You have a good.
You too.
One. Thank you. All right.
And thanks, Mounts, for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss. Chris Voss won the TikTok and all those crazy places on the internet. Be good to each other. Stay safe. We'll see you next time. And that should have us out, man.